Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Man. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Man. And welcome to the live show. Movies TV Man is in the house. We have one viewer. So basically, right, I really want to talk about this Henry Cavill situation and the Flash movie, because I really do believe we found the reason this movie has been delayed. And it's a very, very highly interesting situation. And when a few more people come into the chat, we will discuss it. If you want to ask a question, please do. Smash the like button. Please check out the poll. Is Henry Cavill in the Flash movie? Very, very interesting situation right now. And of course, it's a situation I'm very much on top of. Gabriel's in on us. Hi from Den and Gabe. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Gabriel. A very good evening, my nephews. You are live on Movies TV Mad, aren't you lucky? Leroy Kong, hello to you. I really hope Henry Cavill is in the Flash. We need the Snyderverse. Yes, a very interesting situation is developing here, Leroy. A very interesting situation. And I want to refer back to something that happened last year with an account called My Time to Shine. And something that they said about Henry in the Flash was ratified by Grace Randolph as well. Now, I rejected this at the time because more probably from anger that I didn't want to believe it. But now from what I'm hearing, what Grace and My Time to Shine said sounds very, very factual. So let's go back to the back end of 2021. Gabriel's in on us. What a goal by Ronaldo. 2 goals. I thought he was finished. 2-1 United. I bet we let in another goal. Anyway, so My Time to Shine and Grace Randolph claimed at the back end of last year that Henry Cavill had shot no new sequences for The Flash, but they were going to use stock footage from Man of Steel, a movie I watched again today. Really enjoyed it yet again. So they were going to use stock footage from Man of Steel, and in the narrative, it would be as part of a news bulletins. And that's how we'd see Henry in the movie. It was such an outrageous claim, I didn't want to believe it. Now I believe this is very, very true. And I'm hearing that Discovery were none too pleased to hear about this. So it's back to the drawing board for this movie. So it just shows you what kind of people there are at Warner Brothers Pictures. Now, there is an issue between Henry Cavill and Warner Brothers Pictures, and it really goes back to Justice League. It goes back to the fact that he always wanted a direct sequel to Man of Steel. Gabriel's in on us. What a goal by Ronaldo. Oh, I've read it. Anyway, yes, it was a great goal, wasn't it? But yeah. And so basically, from what I heard, the situation with Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods is very different because the company who represents Henry has also got a production credit and are producers on Black Adam and Fury of the Gods. So apparently they managed to wing it to get Henry on there. John, hi Mick, how are you today? I have finished watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and all I can say is, wow, that final battle at the end was great. Sensational, hey, John. Yeah, it's a great movie. And how this guy isn't running the DCEU, or at least making movies in the DCEU, is outrageous. Leroy Kong, Zaslav should get rid of all these clowns at WB. I agree, Leroy. I agree. They've got to go. I mean, just for them to think, just please smash a like as well, everyone. But to think they could get away with stock footage. To think, and that was another claim by My Time to Shine and Grace Randolph, that they were going to use Supergirl and Batgirl to replace Batfleck and Henry Cavill's Superman. So absolutely outrageous that they thought they couldn't bring Henry back, if in fact this is true. And it's sounding like it is, because this film has been delayed for reasons, multiple reasons. I don't think VFX is anything to do with it. Everyone wants to see Henry Cavill. Even the people who don't like the Snyderverse like Henry Cavill as Superman. He's a very popular figure. And so basically, they have an opportunity here to put him in. Gabriel's in on us. Hi, Mick. How are you today? I have finished watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and all I could say is, wow. What? Gabriel? Why are you repeating what somebody else said? Or is it a problem with the, I don't know. That's weirded me out. Anyway, right. So where were we? Yeah, Henry Cavill and this Flash situation. And so, look, these are part of the issues that have been plaguing this franchise. They cut half an hour off BVS, so they had to do the Ultimate Edition. Gabriel's in on us from Maria. Hello, Maria. But don't repeat what other people say, please. Anyway, right. How are you, Maria? You all right? Basically, these are my nieces and nephews. Leroy Kong, the Flash movie will be saved. Zaslav knows what he's doing. Yeah, Zaslav needs to appoint a CEO at Warner Brothers Pictures. Yeah, you know, so definitely these things have to happen, and we have to see what happens, Leroy, as they come in. A very difficult situation to come in to, and things can't be done straight away. Gabriel's in on us. Yeah, good, Uncle Mike. Love you, Maria. Anyway, so that's the situation at hand, that Cavill isn't, at this moment in time, in the Flash movie, apart from stock footage from Man of Steel. As I say, how they thought they were going to get away with this situation, I don't know. I don't really know how this stuff leaked. I think there's people at Warner Brothers who are not happy with what's going on. And I always think this is how these situations get leaked. There's people there that are not happy, that want Snyder back. Gabriel's in on us. Good luck. Bye. Bye-bye. So we've got this situation now, and, you know, it's part of the problem. The problem with the DCEU isn't the films itself. I can kind of say that all of them are pretty good films. Even the films I don't like as much, like Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84, they're just like mediocre, solid films you'd get in the MCU. So that's not really the issue here. There is issues, but mostly it's the people behind the scenes at Warner Brothers. It's not the directors. It's not the writers of the films. It's the people at Warner Brothers, because to do something like this, because they clearly had an issue. Clearly, they couldn't get Cavill in for one reason or the other. Why do this Flash film? Why do Flashpoint and boast? You know, Andy Muschietti and his sister, Barbara, said that this film was going to have so many DC characters, right? That this was a reboot. You needed your Justice League, right? And we know that Ray Fisher at this moment isn't involved. I'm sure Zaslav, if he hasn't spoken to Ray Fisher, will have to speak to Ray Fisher. Leroy Kong, Superman and Batman should appear in Wonder Woman 3. Whatever's going on with that movie as well. These are other issues, Leroy, that we don't know what's going to happen within the DCEU now and what's not going to happen. Goodit Fernandez, after delay, the Flash movie, it seems like they're doing reshoot, or it will other Justice League. Yeah, it's interesting, definitely. The Legend DCJ, Zaslav will have his new DCEU under control and be like the animated universe. We're going to see what happens with Zaslav and Discovery. I don't want to start making predictions because I don't want egg on my face, but you should also never be afraid to be wrong in these situations. But I do believe that Henry didn't shoot anything for the Flash. And if that's the case, it's problematic. And clearly, someone at the studio somewhere has said, we can't release this film in November. So we know that Henry wants to come back. Henry recently said, it's all right for me wanting to come back, but there's moving parts that have to fit. And those moving parts are the studio. And that's the issue. Henry went back there in 2018 with the writer or the director of Mission Impossible Fallout. They gave Warner Brothers a pitch for a Superman movie and they rejected it. It's not like Henry, bless him, hasn't tried. Smash the like button, please. And so it's becoming abundantly clear. And I mean, this information about Henry not being in the Flash came out late last year, but I rejected that information because I just didn't want to believe that these people would be so incompetent that they thought they could get away with old stock footage. I mean, it's an interesting idea just to say he's there, but it's no good. People wouldn't accept it. Hardeep Singh, I didn't like the story of Man of Steel and the way Henry's character was written. Also, I like Henry as Superman, same with Ben Affleck. And did you see Hypocrite Grace's new tweets about that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did see. She's got me blocked, actually, but someone screenshotted it. Leroy Kong, again, I really hope that Henry Cavill appears in Black Adam. Yeah, listen, there's issues here. And, these films have been put back. And, it's interesting now. David F. Sandberg just tweeted on Twitter saying there's no explanation for the new costumes in the movie. And he goes, that's what's so great about having a film that's got magic in it. And I don't think any explanations are needed in those terms. John, Cyborg was my favorite in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, say what you want about Ray Fisher, but a great performance and well written. And he was brilliant in the movie. They really he did get a lot of screen time. And, Joss Whedon cut a hell of a lot out. And you can understand why Fisher was pissed off. But these are the situations that have been plaguing the DCEU really since the beginning. And, it looks like someone said, we've got to do something about this. You can't release this movie this year. Hullet Fernandez, Zaslav should first set one line for DC movie or keep someone to look into movies division. Yeah, look, they're going to have to do things here because DC is the most profitable thing at Warner Brothers. Potentially, it can make them so much money. Hisham Kashi, I saw Batman Forever in 4K this morning. The last time I watched it was when I was 5 years old, back in 1998. I really wish they would release the Schumacher cut. The story is interesting. I'd like to see the Schumacher cut for sure. E.B. Budd, do you prefer Tesco or Asda shopping? Neither. Leroy Kong, the Snyderverse can work in the multiverse. WB, wake up. Yep. And when we say WB, who are we talking about anymore? Because they can't greenlight any movies. Look, this takeover is a problem in the sense that nothing can be really sorted out. Now, clearly, Zaslav and Discovery legally can't be there, but clearly things are being leaked to them. And this Flash situation, from what I've been told, was leaked to them. And they wasn't happy. And, now we're in a situation, because movies don't get delayed like this at this time. With very little short notice for no reason. And they don't get delayed because of VFX unless there's a huge problem that there shouldn't be. VFX companies and VFX, analysts are very good. And, they get on top of things. So it's not about that. John, do you think Ray Fisher will be in The Flash now? I think it's very probable. And I think that's another reason this film's been delayed. The other films have been moved because The Flash has been delayed. I still don't understand, and I said it to David F. Sandberg just a minute ago on Twitter, how can your film now be before The Flash? It doesn't make sense. I'm sure I won't get a reply. Hardeep Singh, Henry's not reprising the role of... Right, let's start again. Henry's not reprising his role, not because of WB. I heard WB want Henry as Superman, but Henry wants direct sequel of Man of Steel and wants to work under Zack Snyder, but I don't money is a problem. Right, let's get the fiction from the fact, Hardeep. Harry is not reprising his role because of is not reprising his role, not because of WB. I heard that. No, that's not true. The issue is with WB. He pitched a movie with the director of Mission Impossible Fallout, and they rejected it. Why didn't they accept the pitch? Or why didn't they work with Henry and the director to come up with a better pitch? Henry has been very, very honest. He's come out and he said he wants to do it, but it's not just up to him. And they're the facts. And it's not about money at all. Not at all. Leroy Kong, the Flash director, will not lose his job. We shall see, my friend. We will see. As I say, these things, this kind of delay, a 7-month, 8-month delay doesn't happen for no reason. So now, if they wanted us to stop coming up with conspiracy theories, maybe the president of DC Films should have come out and made an official announcement. If he was on Twitter, he could have connected to the fans. But he hasn't done that. He's in hiding. And that's no way to do your job as a DC Films president. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't keep on hiding, Walter. You're either the president of DC Films and you've got to interact with the fans, or you're not the president of DC Films and you're just a puppet on a string. What is it? I think we will see Henry. I think we will see Henry in terms of Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I think they've done that much. Good it Fernandez. Warner Brothers DC film slate delay could help Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 at the box office. Well, before all this Cavill stuff, I was going to ask you another question tonight. Do you believe Shazam! Fury of the Gods can beat Avatar 2? Because if they announce Henry and Gal are in that movie, I think they can. Leroy Kong, Walter Hamada is a clown. He should go. I just think he's a puppet on the string, my friend. I don't even think he's a clown. I think he's a talented guy. But I don't necessarily think he was the right person to take over DC Films. But there you go. A lot of things have been going on since the Snyder Cut came out and all the kind of controversy about what Zack said, Ray said, and all of that, is that they've been green-lighting films for fun, hoping that when Discovery come in, they were a success and say, look at us, you don't need to, you know, they're battling these people at Warner Brothers Pictures to keep their jobs. They didn't have a slate for next year, and they split the films up this year, but maybe some of this year's films were always going to be next year's films. Of course, we don't know that because there's no communication. Leroy Kong, yeah, it will be Avatar. It's going to be interesting. A lot of people think that Avatar is this strong movie, but I think he's taken so long to make these movies that it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Basically, the kids and families loved the first Shazam. People are going to come in to watch Shazam. Now, if they were to publicize that Gal and Henry are in the movie, then that changes the game. Because they've done this for a reason. If Henry is in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I would implore Warner Brothers to publicize it. Hardip Singh, I think the Flash movie delayed because of reshoots. Because if you think Aquaman 2 is going to release after the Flash, but Flash movie didn't have any effects on Aquaman, so Aquaman is situated old DCEU. The Legend CJ, if the Snyderverse gets restored, when do you think they can start filming? He can't start filming for a long time. He's filming 2 Rebel Moon movies back-to-back for Netflix. So that's probably going to take him to the end of the year. He'd have to work on VFX because Zach does work personally on the VFX. He wouldn't be able to start to maybe mid-2023, back end of 2023. But as long as the thing's restored, that's my only concern. John, do you watch the YouTuber Comic Book Cast 2? I do. Not one of my favourite people. Sometimes they're good. Their videos are not very long. Yeah, I have heard of them, John. Is there a reason you're mentioning them? Hullet Fernandez, Dylan O'Brien responds to DC Movie Night when casting rumours. I know he said he's not. He hasn't. He's not. He's not. That's what he's saying. He's not involved. I will be keeping in touch with the Manchester United score. Please check out my poll. Is Henry Cavill in the Flash movie? Please smash the like button if you haven't already. I'm assuming you're here because you like me. Hisham Kishi, where does Val Kilmer rank on your favourite Bruce Wayne Batman list? Oh, well, I mean, you've got great Batman in there. It's difficult. Val's a great actor, and he was a pretty good, solid Bruce Wayne and Batman. But I mean, I would put Michael Keaton above him, Ben Affleck above him, Robert Pattinson, Christian Bale. They would all be above him. Maybe he would be number 5, maybe. Dr. Isaac, I'm pretty sure he is. Hardip Singh, what about Batgirl movie, man? It didn't delay when Batgirl is going to be released. Well, there's no release date. There's never been an official release date for Batgirl, so they don't have to delay, confirm or deny anything. They can take their time with it. They're still making the movie. So, Hullet Fernandez, give James Gunn a Justice League movie. Do you know what? That would be interesting. I'm not sure, my friend. I'm not sure because Gunn, I like James. I love James very much. He's very friendly with the fans. He's very talented. I love the Suicide Squad. I love his Guardians movies. I'm just not sure. I'm sure he could do something interesting, but I don't think Justice League needs too much humour, and I'm worried he would get carried away. Dr. Isaac, I mean, I'm pretty sure Cavill is in The Flash. Look, I hope what I'm hearing is wrong, and what Grace and No Time to Shine said last year is wrong. We don't know. There's an alleged insider saying that he saw Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill shooting a scene together in The Flash. That's the problem. Who do you believe? Probably no one. Dr. Isaac, and no jail for James Gunn because it needs a more serious approach. I think it does. You can have comedy there, but it can't be a sitcom. Leroy Kong, 23 DC movies now grossed over 200 million at the worldwide box office. 4 are billion-dollar blockbusters within the 23. Well done, DC. And well done to the Batman. Because after this, because it's already grossed over 400 million, it only dropped about 48% at the box office, the domestic box office. It's doing very, very well let me get my words out. So much for being too dark and too long. It looks like people like long, dark movies. Dr. Isaac, Grace is laughable. Good gosh. Yeah, I'm not saying she's a truth teller. I mean, she's a bullshitter. Trill J, Matt Reeves is the way. I agree. I can listen to him talk about the Batman forever. Big success. Great movie. Don't care what anyone says. Really enjoyed it. And now for me, it's about getting it at home, the movie. That comes out in June. Physical copy and digital. Already pre-ordered a 4K. Steelbook. So for me now, it's getting the film at home and watching it and enjoying the extra features, the bonus features. But a really great movie. And yeah, give him everything. So it's interesting that David F. Sandberg is now coming onto Twitter talking a bit more about his movie. So they've given him some license to do that at least. Dr. Zaka, we should have a watch-along on this channel. That would be great. Now, with a watch-along, obviously, you can't watch with me, but you can watch it at home while I'm watching it. I'd have to have a screen situated somewhere else. The laptop would have to be somewhere else. Be interesting. But yeah, that would be great. I'd really enjoy that at some point, yeah. Hardy was saying, I don't want James Gunn to direct Justice League movie. I'd rather pick James Wan, director of Aquaman. I agree. He had handled movies with many characters before. First Aquaman is so beautiful looking. Beautiful looking, great story. Aquaman is a brilliant film. And considering it came after Justice League and it made $1 billion, that tells you everything. James Wan saved the DCEU when it was at its lowest point. I think that was a sensational result. I remember going to see the test screening for the first Aquaman and giving my thoughts on my channel when in the early days of my channel back in 2018. Dr. Zayazaka, yeah, James Wan is a great choice. Yeah, very great guy. Very great guy. Doesn't mess around either. Trilj, can you inform me about the Ben Affleck situation? So according to Grace Randolph, that he won't be killed off in the Flash movie and he's interested in doing more films as Batman. Now, I always said he wasn't going to be killed off. I said he'd go missing after Flashpoint and Barry would make it his mission to search, to use the Speed Force to search for him. That's my prediction with that. But who knows what's going on? Hisham Kishi, I can only see two directors doing a good job directing a Justice League movie, either George Miller or Brad Bird. But the thing is here, I think you need a writer-director. The last thing I want to see is a director and separate writers. I think that could be a problem with the Flash movie as well. Christina Hodson wrote the movie and Andy Muschietti has directed it. So what creative control has he got? He can't be blamed for the movie. He didn't write the thing. He's a good director, even though he's only done 4 or 5 movies. I think more and more things about The Flash, now it's been delayed, are going to come out. It's going to be very interesting what happens with this, because they're under a huge amount of pressure now. They really are. And they've brought that pressure on themselves. Hardeep Singh, and it's a shame that WB still cancelled Trench, HBO Max series spin-off of Aquaman. They should give James Wan everything that's possible. I believe that the Trench thing is part of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and that's why they cancelled it. Leroy Kong, The Flash will gross over 1 billion. If it's a great movie, Leroy, there's no reason why it shouldn't do that gross, but it's got to be a good movie. And here's the thing, we've had so many disappointments in terms of box office and films that we thought were going to be a lot better than they was. Listen, I want great DC movies. And the only reason I care about the box office is so we get more of these movies. But they have to be great. And it's all about, ironically, what Toby Emmerich said, or even though it's hypocritical, was true. To get a good movie, you need a good director. And Matt Reeves is one of the best. I don't think anything else is going to be greenlit for the DCEU until the merger. It's clear now that Warner Brothers Pictures' hands are tied. Hisham Kishi, Dr. Zayzaka, Brad Bird knows how to direct an ensemble cast very well. Huge name directors would get lost in setting up the characters well. Well, not necessarily. There are directors there who could do it. Brad Bird has got great quality. I love The Incredibles, but, it doesn't necessarily have to be a name. Leroy Kong, DC will always be better than Marvel. It will, as I reminded you all today at the end of the DCEU Daily. We make better movies. And they make money, we make art. That's how it works for me. And that's how it should be. They'll never make a movie as amazing as The Joker, or Batman 89, or Batman Returns, or Batman Begins, or The Dark Knight, or The Dark Knight Rises, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, The Snyder Cut. These are amazing, unique films. Trilogy, far as films, DC definitely has more films that won't be forgotten, but I think we can enjoy it all. Well, we can, but because I'm a DC stan, I want DC to be successful, and it does get grating, all the shilling that goes on for the MCU. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the MCU movies. I watch them, go and watch them, then I forget about them. But the point being, there is a lot of shilling and they're very overrated, aren't they, Marvel? Hardest thing, only Christina Hodson is my concern for the Flash movie. Her script, my concern, definitely. That is a concern, that she's written such an important movie when she really hasn't achieved anything of note. Bumblebee was a little movie. Some people say they like it. I wasn't overly impressed. Birds of Prey, well, we know all about that film. But she is Walter Hamada's go-to writer. Trilogy, I don't know. I'm just enjoying the Batverse. Yep, me too. Me too. We mustn't forget the Batman's in cinemas. It's a great movie. It's making lots of money. So that is a success for DC. So there's something positive going on. So they're definitely learning from their mistakes. Goodit Fernandez, could Batgirl be delayed after the Flash's newest release date shift? Well, it can't be delayed, Hullet, because it never had a release date, not officially. So they'll just give us a date when they're ready. I don't think they even know where to place that film. Dr. Zayzaka, someone as talented as him shouldn't be pressurized by the studio. Best option to restore the restore the Snyderverse and adjust the Flash storyline. For sure. But there should never, ever have been a situation where they don't put Henry Cavill in a Flash movie, but they use old stock footage. I mean, I'm astounded if this is true, how they thought they were going to get away with it. Trilogy. Now, Bad Guys on HBO Max, so no delays needed. Well, basically, it needs to come after Flashpoint because the effects of Flashpoint affect that film. Hardip Singh. Congratulations, Mike. The Batman movie is killing it. $400 million worldwide. And don't forget, China release is near 18th of March. It will definitely going to make over $1 billion. It will, yes. Very good. Trill J, I think the Snyderverse characters should stay not... Hang on a minute. Hushain Kishi, aside from the controversial ending, why do you think Man of Steel received a lot of criticism? You would think that people would be more open to a darker Superman, especially after the release of The Dark Knight. Well, here's the thing about Superman, Hisham. And if you don't know Superman, you won't understand it. Superman's been in the comics since 1938, and he's mostly been a very inspirational character, very pure. He doesn't kill. Children and families want to go and see those films, and that's why people were upset. You can darken up Batman, but Superman is a no-go area. I love Man of Steel, but I don't think that they should have had Superman break somebody's neck. I mean, there just was no need. Leroy Kong, DC films will be saved by Zaslav. Oh, lovely. Isn't he a charmer? Trilogy, I still think they should give Snyder a chance, though, so do I. Dr. Zaya Zaka, I think Andy Machete is under a lot of pressure, which is why he's keeping silent. Leroy Kong, we need more new Superman movies with Henry Cavill. I don't know, Dr. Azashi Zaka, because it's very curious that he's the only one who hasn't spoken. Leroy Kong, we need more new Superman movies with Henry Cavill. We do. Trill J, definitely need Cavill. He's a top dog in the DCEU. Yeah, everyone loves Henry Cavill. I love Henry Cavill. And we want to see him back. Goodit Fernandez, how much money has Batman made? 400 million globally. It's had a very, very good, solid week. And he's doing very well. And the drop-off is very low. It's a big success, yes. Very impressive numbers. Goodit Fernandez. Trill J, but when you think about why would he not kill Zod, look at what Zod did to Earth. Cavill Superman is simply a good man. People need to use their knowledge. Well, no, you know what, Trill J? It's all about the writing. You know, all the other Kryptonians were sucked into the Phantom Zone, which was a way of dealing with him. But they could have thought there was actually no need to put Superman in that no-win scenario. And the writer did that. And even Christopher Nolan, who co-wrote the story, was a bit taken aback at first. But yeah, there was no, there's no need for Superman to have to break someone's neck. And plus, why kill Zod off? He's such a great villain. You want to see these villains recur. He's one of the. I would put him above Heath Ledger's Joker, Michael Shannon as Zod. So good. People don't want to see Superman kill people. That's the point. It's a great movie, great Superman, but there was no need for that. In my opinion, of course. Leroy Cotton, Man of Steel is very well made. It's a brilliant film. I love it. But ultimately, it put the franchise on the back foot with that moment where he kills. Julio Fernandez, by success of Batman, can WB make more grounded movies? They can. I don't necessarily think they should all be grounded, though. Hardip Singh, Superman doesn't kill. He doesn't snap Zod's neck. At least not in his first movie. I don't have any problem with Dark take on Superman. Superman and his first episode is better than MOS. Fact. Well, I wouldn't go that far, Hardip. The first episode is amazing. It is amazing. But it's a bit different making a television series and doing a movie. So I think they're both great. Smash a like on the like button. We had a bit of a hateful figure here earlier, didn't we? Did you see that? I mean, I don't know if I've slept with his mother or wife. I don't know. John, did you hear about the Deadpool 3 news? Also, have you seen The Boys Season 3 trailer? I don't watch The Boys. I saw a few episodes. It's okay. And as for Deadpool 3, yeah, not really my thing. Yeah, they're all right. Trill J, my guy Superman and Lois is not better. You really think Doomsday would come to Earth and Superman not know? Look, I don't like this putting one thing against the other. Superman and Lois is one of the best interpretations of Superman, and I love Henry Cavill's Superman. I love him in Man of Steel. I love him in BVS, and he's great in the Snyder Cut. So, yeah, I'm not going to start, saying that one's rubbish and things like that. Red Panda, the problem that I have with Man of Steel is when Superman puts someone's car in a tree. Superman would never do that. Why not? Why wouldn't he do that? He literally was sexually harassing a woman. So Superman gave him some payback. So I agree, Superman shouldn't kill, but something like that, I think the guy had to come in, definitely. Julio Fernandez, what about another Suicide Squad movie? This time it should be a horror movie. Interesting. Hishan Kishi, Matt Reeves and Greg Fraser recently participated in an hour and 20-minute roundtable discussion about the cinematography in the Batman. You should definitely check it out. I certainly will. Trill J, MOS is better and does justice to Superman's character just being real. As I say, I love them both. I know this generation doesn't like that. I know it has to be one or the other, but I'm not a one or the other type of guy. Superman and Lois is awesome. Man of Steel is awesome. Christopher Reeve is awesome. I'm not hating on anything. I'm a Superman fan and I love them all. Leroy Kong, Man of Steel is accurate. Man of Steel is a great movie. Trill J, no, I like them both too. You don't have to, by the way, but I'm just not going to be doing, I'm not into this or that thing. Hardip Singh, I'm talking about first season, and I'm not talking about season. I'm talking about the way Superman should be. CW Superman is well written. Listen, he wasn't always before he got his own show, by the way. They well messed him up in the crossovers and stuff. Look, he's good, but I am not putting the Superman and Lois Superman above Henry Cavill's, and I'm not doing it the other way around. I love all the versions of Superman, apart from Dean Cain, not my cup of tea. But I know lots of people love his version, so I'm not going to go deep into it. As I say, I'm not into this or that thing. Hishan Kishi, the thing that bugs me the most about the 4K release of Man of Steel is that it's upscaled and not native 4K. Well, it looks amazing. I watched it on 4K today and it looked amazing. So as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for me. Trilogy, until they put the woke stuff in the future. The woke stuff, where, Trilogy? John, a message retracted. Henry Cavill is more popular on his own than Avatar. If he shows up on Shazam, Avatar 2 is screwed. I don't even care about Avatar 2. I'll watch it when it's on Blu-ray. Goody Fernandez, how Swamp Thing's greatest power secretly reshaped the DC universe. And talking about Swamp Thing, the way they just cancelled that series all of a sudden, typical WB. Trilogy, I'm saying that the CW will definitely put woke things in a Superman show. Well, to be honest with you, Trilogy, that's the world we live in. Identity politics, extreme left now, propaganda. It's everywhere. You either put up with it or you just watch your old Blu-rays. That's what I do if it gets on my nerves. Hardim Singh, Man of Steel is one of the best looking movies. Cinematography, fights are insane. Look, it's an amazing film. It's got some good character moments in it as well. Diane Lane as Martha Kent is some of Snyder's best casting ever. She's amazing. Trilogy, Avatar 2, they're just trying to get the box office record back. Yeah, I'm sure people will go and see it. It's interesting to see what happens there. I mean, I would laugh if that movie flops. I would fucking laugh because everyone's going, oh, it's going to beat this, it's going to beat that. I love seeing Disney lose. I hate Disney. Red Panda, Batman vs. Superman Extended Edition is surprisingly good. It should have come to cinemas. Things would have been different. Well, listen, that's the problem. It's Warner Brothers again. Big mistakes, too reactive. John, I'm surprised that WB did not cancel Doom Patrol. Why are you surprised, John? It's a great series. It's one of the best DC TV series ever made. Why would they cancel it? Let me know your faults. Smash a like on the like button, please. Oh, God. I bet you they bloody scored again. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh. Harry Maguire, own bloody goal. Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm surprised that WB did. Trilogy, notice how they announced it after Endgame took the record. Well, to be honest, Trilogy, the Avatar sequels have been in the development ever since the first one finished. It's not about that. Kyle Williams, Doom Patrol is great. Yes, Kyle, good evening to you. Doom Patrol is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. So good, so clever. The comics are great as well. Great cast. I'd love to see them do a movie. That's just great. If James Gunn made Doom Patrol, we wouldn't hear the fucking end of it. Because and it's Jeremy Carver who works on that show, by the way, who did Supernatural for a time as well. Kishan Kishi, I would love to see a fight between Superman and Black Adam in the DCEU. Black Adam is almost as powerful as Superman. It would be so cool if Adam would yell Shazam before Superman flies towards him. That would be cool. Who knows what we're getting in October? Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I think we could be getting a totally different Flash movie next year now. I can't believe United. Let's see what happens next. So, kickoff was at 7:30, 7:15, 8:30. Yeah. Hardip Singh, Avatar 2, I don't know, man, because as much as I dislike Disney, but James Cameron never missed. He's an amazing director. He is an amazing director. He makes amazing movies, no question about it. I'm sure it's going to be a good movie. But has the audience moved on from Avatar? He can make the most amazing film. I've seen amazing films that have flopped before. There's films that I love that I can't believe haven't made any money. I can't believe Man of Steel only made 650. You know, even Birds of Prey with all its flaws. I'm surprised Birds of Prey is an actual flop. You know, sometimes there's some mystifying situations, although Kathy Yan isn't exactly, you know, James Cameron, I agree. John, because WB just cancelled Swamp Thing after just one season. Exactly, yeah. That was I think something happened. Maybe the creator was suing them. Something was going on. Obviously, something we don't understand happened there because it was a very good show. But I have no excitement for Deadpool 3. I have no excitement for Avatar 2. I like good movies. It doesn't have to be DC, but I'm a DC fan, and that is my focus. And even Deadpool 2, I didn't particularly enjoy Deadpool 2. The first one was very impressive, but I'm not obsessed with Deadpool. And, you know, sometimes Ryan Reynolds just bores me with his bullshit humour. It's boring and everyone shills for him. Everyone wants to suck the guy off. Do you know what I mean? It's just annoying. You see, when you see these trolls come on, they're coming from TikTok because I've got a link on my TikTok to come through to here. And on TikTok, it's mostly little boys with little bot accounts because they hate older guys like me being on TikTok. So they come on here to throw some abuse, I'm afraid. So you just have to ignore them. Keep the comments going. Please vote on my poll. 20 votes. Is Henry Cavill in the Flash movie? Yes, 76%. No, 24%. And please, if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. Let's get this channel noticed on the algorithm, please. John, also, I love the Doom Patrol show. So do I. It's great. Doom Patrol is great. They've got some really, really good actors on there. Hisham Kishi, I hope we get to see all other live-action Batman actors in their costumes in the Flash movie. Don't know how it would work with Val Kilmer's condition and without Adam West, RIP. Well, Val Kilmer isn't canon in the multiverse, so you won't see him. Hardip Singh, what is the effect of Discovery merger on WB, DCEU and other DC movies? Explain. I don't know anything, and I love first Deadpool. Deadpool 2 is worst movie ever made. Abraham Herrera, he will now. Okay, yeah, that's a good point, Abraham. So you wanted to know about the merger. Right. Last year it was announced that AT&T and Discovery would merge. So basically what would happen is AT&T, who have been running Warner Media, as it was renamed when they bought the old original company, said what's going to happen now? AT&T will go back to their cable and wireless, focus on that. They won't be running the studio anymore. So what's going to happen is David Zaslav and Discovery, they put some money in and they've merged with AT&T. AT&T will have shares in the new Warner Discovery company, but David Zaslav and Discovery will be running Warner Brothers as an entity themselves. Now, I mean, I am guessing this, but I think the shareholders at AT&T will sell their shares to Zaslav and Discovery, and I think ultimately Zaslav and Discovery will own and 100% be running WB. That's how it works. Discovery are going to be running WB. It's as simple as that. Now, I don't want to start saying he's going to restore the Snyderverse, he's going to do this. I know what I want him to do. I know he came to Hollywood straight away and bought a place and started talking and, you know, befriending the industry, you know, and it's very important. It's something that Stanky and AT&T never did, and they were seen as outsiders. Red Panda, I have a theory that Riddler knows Batman is Bruce. That's why he made him go to the orphanage while sending the bomb to Wayne Manor. I think he's kept for the sequel. Yes, he's coming back because that message on that site said so as well. Basically, I think the Riddler knows more about the Waynes and more about even Alfred. I don't trust this version of Alfred. I think Alfred could have been the one who killed the Waynes for Falcone. That's my theory. Hisham Kishi, how do you know which live-action Batman actor is canon and which is not? If Kilmer isn't canon, doesn't that mean Clooney is canon? How's Keaton canon? Right, quite simple. I'll put it as simple as possible for you because I think you're overcomplicating it a bit. When the news came out, what were they doing in the multiverse? It was made very clear to all of us via the media that Michael Keaton would be canon, Batman and Batman Returns would be canon, and Batman Forever and Batman Robin would have been in the canon. Clooney and Kilmer would not be involved in the Flash movie or the DCEU. They will not be DCEU canon, but Michael Keaton will be. Leroy Kong, what if Shazam 2 leads up to Wonder Woman 3? If Patty Jenkins gets her way, Wonder Woman 3 will be another failure. Well, hopefully they remove her as soon as possible, and hopefully that's something Discovery can help with. Abraham Herrera, remember a couple of months ago when Henry said in a few interviews his desires to do solo Superman projects? Well, I think that was direct at Discovery. Yep. Like you said, Zaslav has been talking to people. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He knows. Look, he knows the company's a mess and he knows he has to sort it out. Dr. Azish Saka, wow, your Alfred theory is nuts. If it's true, that will be scary. Well, I wouldn't put it past Matt Reeves. It's interesting to me we didn't see a lot of Alfred. And I think he probably regrets killing them. I think he had no choice. I think Falcone forced him to. Maybe he had something over him or something like that. So I think it wouldn't surprise me because they didn't tell us who the assassin was, right? So it's interesting. That's my theory. Even before I saw the Batman, I thought Alfred would be a villain. Dr. Zashisaka, no, I've read that. Hashim Kishi, oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes, Hishim, things can get very confusing in this game. The only reason, listen, it's not that you did anything wrong or anything. It's just that because of what I do here, I collect the information every day. Every day I'm on Twitter. In the morning, the first thing I do, I collect information to do the DCEU Daily. This is why you see me retweet loads of Screen Rant articles. So I've got them, they're ready to read. So I know all the information because it's my job to know that information. Otherwise, what's the point in me? Dr. Dashizaka, Swamp Thing was awesome. It was. The comics are even better. And let's have a look. Oh my God, Ronaldo scored again. A hat-trick for Ronaldo. This is nuts. Right, where are we? Abraham Herrera. Henry never speaks out of his arse like other actors. So when he speaks, you bet there is a reason. And when he speaks, Abraham, he's a gentleman. What I love about Henry, he's an old-fashioned gentleman. I love him. I love his Superman. I love Man of Steel. He's a great actor. I noticed, actually, Man of Steel, he changes his accent a little bit when he's young Clark, when they do the tornado flashback and he sounds younger. What a great actor. Red Panda, I think, is all leading to Court of Owls. That's my guess for the sequel. I think they're behind a lot. Someone's behind a lot of things, pulling the strings. Leroy Kong, awesome for Manchester United. Fingers crossed, we've already leaked 2 goals. So where are we? We've got we've probably got another 10 minutes. Can we keep the lead? Dr. Zayzaka, Ronaldo in the DCEU. Bring it on. He's a superhero already, isn't he? I love Ronaldo. And people have been saying he's the problem at Manchester United. Imagine that. I always wonder what the 10 people watching or who they are. I mean, could there be someone in that 10 that are a little bit elite and they're watching me in secret? Wouldn't that be fun? Abraham Herrera, I think Henry and The Rock are pulling strings. Oh, yeah, definitely. Listen, things got to be sorted out. And in the end of the day, as frustrated as I am with the delays, it's for the best. Because if they had a Flash movie with stock footage of Henry, I don't want to see that shit. First of all, I know what's going to happen on the internet, and I just can't. I hate it. I hate the negativity. Hardeep Singh, do you think after Discovery merger, David Zaslav will hire someone to architect the DCEU like the MCU, Kevin Feige? If yes, who would you suggest? Well, listen, I do believe we're going for a DC Studios and a CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery Studios, which is what Warner Brothers Studios will probably be called, WB Pictures. And I think I don't have a specific name to run the DCEU or run DC live action, but I think it should be someone who is talented in producing, but also knows the comics. There needs to be a balance. It can't just be a comic book writer or artist. It can't be someone like Jim Lee. I don't think he's the right person. But he's Uncle Jim. That's why he's there, so he can soften us up. Oh, what's going on here? Right, nothing. Right. So, yeah, it has to be a balance. He has to be a producer and someone who understands. It could be basically, it needs to be someone, I think, from DC Comics that can produce, is a producer as well, who knows how to produce, who understands. As I say, actually, I have got a name for you, and I said this name the other night, and I've been saying it ever since the DCEU originated. Bruce Timm. Bruce Timm has done a great job on the DCAU, right? The DC Animated Universe. The man's a genius. He should be running the whole thing, and I don't understand why he's not. So who knows what the future holds? Red Panda, maybe all the water in Gotham freezes when the winter comes and somehow Mr. Freeze created. That's a very good. I like that. Pitch it to Matt. I really genuinely like that. Dr. Zashi Zaka, come to think of it, Alfred was scared when Bruce told him he met Falcone. Exactly. And he was telling him not to believe anything he said. Kind of, if I remember rightly. Smash the like button, please. Please check out my poll. Is Henry Cavill in the Flash movie? Yes, 76%. Yes. No, 24%. Leroy Kong, Jeff Loeb, Bruce Timm, Jim Lee. Jeff Loeb actually worked on Smallville. Jeff Loeb actually wrote a lot of episodes of Smallville, and he was in the writer's room a lot as well. But Jeff Loeb is a genius, and that was Matt Reeves' screenwriting teacher, Jeff Loeb. Isn't that amazing? Dr. Zashi Zaka, there was a rumor that Oscar Isaac is in the running for Two-Face. Well, that's interesting, although he's just doing that, what's his name? That Moon Knight. So we'll see. Abraham Herrera, imagine if we get the DC Studios banner for the first time in a Flash movie. That would be awesome. They've got to sort this universe out because they're the best characters. We've got some great movies. Let's do this. Let's do this. Maybe the delays are the first act in doing things the right way. 100%. Jim Lee is not right. I agree. But Bruce Timm is great. That's why I'm excited about upcoming Batman the Animated Series on HBO Max, because of Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm's involvement, not because of J.J. Abrams. Yeah, look, it's funny with J.J. Abrams because I really used to love the guy so much because he created and wrote Alias, which was great. He co-created and wrote the pilot and directed the pilot of Lost, and a lot of the good stuff in Lost was because of him. But when he became so famous and successful, he got his fingers on all these pies. And it's a shame that his reputation has taken a nosedive. It really is. Dr. Zashi Zaka, DC Studios is what we need. A studio full of people, talented people who love DC and know these iconic characters. That's what we want. We don't just want the name DC Studios. We want the right people involved. That's the most important thing. Can Manchester United keep this lead? Hishan Kishi, I really want to see a scary, buff, and extremely strong version of Bane in a Batman movie. Hardy's Bane is a little underwhelming. I want to see a version that is a serious physical threat to Batman. Listen, I want to see the Bane from the comics. I want him to be created by Venom. At least Batman and Robin at least tried that much. I mean, it's an awful version, but at least they tried to keep it comic accurate. Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought the character of Bane was interesting in The Dark Knight Rises. I thought he was kind of intimidating. I think he kind of worked with what Nolan was doing. John, the Batman is coming out on Blu-ray very soon. June, isn't it? June. Dr. Zashi Zaka, Dave Bautista for Bane. I'm still not sure about Bautista. I know everyone wants Bautista. I'm not sure. Someone less famous would be better, I think. Abraham Herrera, Mission Impossible 3, Star Trek and The Force Awakens were all good. I agree. But JJ started thinking more like a producer by the time he made The Force Awakens. Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, with the sequel trilogy, if JJ just wrote and directed that trilogy, I think we would have been okay. He set up so many things in The Force Awakens, and we were all so excited. And it was a good start. And I actually thought Ray and Finn had a great chemistry. But then Rian Johnson split Finn and Ray up when they had this great chemistry in the first film. None of it made sense. I mean, he thinks he's being inclusive, but he wasn't. Because think about how racist this is, right? He took an Asian character, right, Rose Tico, and Finn, a character of colour, took them away from all the white characters. I actually think that's not being inclusive. Dr. Zashi Zaka, Tom Hardy was phenomenal for Bane. I think he was. Yeah, he may not be comics accurate, but he was good. Dr. Zashi Zaka, he was genuinely scary. I agree. Hisham Kishi, yeah, I want to see that giant in Mad Max Fury Road as Bane. Yeah, that definitely would be scary. If you remember Man of Steel, there was a really tall guy who played one of the Kryptonians. Do you remember in the Battle of Smallville when he's got all the get up, we can't see his face, and he's kicking the shit out of Superman? If he filled out a bit, he'll be an interesting Bane. Now, he was a giant. John, did you ever watch TV series Lost? Oh, my God, of course. I just mentioned it. Yeah, J.J. Abrams is a genius, and his team were a genius. Lost was an amazing show, especially that first season. There is not one streaming show that can compete with Lost and its quality. Hisham Kishi, yeah, he definitely would. Red Panda, Batman 2, Mr. Freeze, Batman 3, Court of Owls. In this time, Joker to appear sometimes. Other trilogy with Death in the Family, and maybe Ra's al Ghul, his last enemy. Sounds good to me. I don't think it's the way Matt's going to go, but it sounds good to me. Dr. Zashizaka, water seems to be the theme for the sequel. Penguin and Mr. Freeze, both dependent and linked to water. That's true. That's very true. Abraham Herrera, Lost was one of the first viral shows along with Prison Break. It was the early 2000s. Well, let me tell you something, Abraham, about the early 2000s and television. That was the peak period of television. And they weren't on streaming. They were on network TV. You can put Lost, Prison Break, 24, brilliant shows. Fringe, there's amazing shows. No streaming show has the quality that a show like 24 had, for example. 24 made 24 movies a year, in a way. Amazing. Kiefer Sutherland was amazing. Great series, and I don't really rate streaming shows that highly. I think network TV from the past is highest, more superior. And a lot of those network shows were made on lesser budgets as well. So you're right. Yeah, it was. No, actually, and I mean, I'm talking early internet before Twitter. Actually, X-Files was the first viral one, probably. Red Panda, Supernatural was also very good. Yeah. Very good. Leroy Kong, 24 was a masterpiece. It certainly was. Dr. Zashish, Kiefer Sutherland as a villain for the DCEU. Yes, please. I love Kiefer. I would kiss the ground he walked on. I love that guy. And he's in a band as well. Abraham Herrera, yeah, what a privilege to have been a witness to all that greatness the last burst network TV had to offer. And as I say, in my opinion, so much more superior than what we see today. Hisham Kishi, I don't want them to divert from the grounded take of the Batman, though. I really can't see Mr. Freeze in that world. I can. Maybe the DCEU's perfect fit would be the Court of Owls or Hush in the sequel. I noticed that everyone's taking the grounded thing too literally. I mean, even Matt spoke about Mr. Freeze and how there's ways that he could make him grounded. So if Matt's saying it, I think there's a chance he will be in the Batman. So I'm not saying they change from the grounded vision, but there are ways of doing things. And I think people are looking at the grounded stuff too literally. Because this is Batman. This is the Batman universe. And there's different ways of doing a Mr. Freeze and even a Clayface. And even Man-Bat, if you want to be ridiculous. Abraham Herrera, don't you find it odd that the VFX of Smallville are at the same level as Arrowverse? Yes, and Smallville had lower budgets, but the effects company that did the stuff on Smallville was very proficient. Entity effects were amazing, and they did some great things. Those meteor showers looked amazing, especially the season 4 finale one, and the rising of the fortress, great special effects. And that's something that the DCEU hasn't got, a Fortress of Solitude, which actually disappointed me. Hisham Kishi, how would the ice gun work, though? Well, however he makes it work. How it works in the comics, why can't it work like that? Maybe he doesn't have to have an ice gun. I don't know. But these are things that Matt seems to think he can deal with. Dr. Zashizaka, Hisham Kishi, I agree that groundedness shouldn't be lost even when Matt goes for some fantastical elements. Looking at his work in Let Me In and Cloverfield, Red Panda, think about a frozen Gotham with perfect cinematography and a feeling like Batman Returns. That would be awesome. Abraham Herrera, and how after the first season of a show, the VFX always downgrade to give actors a bigger salary? Not always. I actually think the VFX of Smallville got better and better. I don't think that's always the case, Abraham. I'm not sure what shows you've been watching, though. That's the thing. TV actors, the old TV network actors didn't get a lot of money. I mean, sure, Kiefer Sutherland got a lot of money because he'd been in a lot of films before that. Yes, United won. 3-2. Ooh la la, say Cantona. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Check out my poll. 22 votes. Is Henry Cavill in the Flash movie? Yes, 77%. No, 23%. Hisham Kishi, Dr. Zashizaki, yeah, that's why the DCU should exist, so we could see more fantastical characters there. I don't want any of that to go near the Reeves universe. I think you may be disappointed, Hisham, because the man has spoken about Mr. Freeze, and he is interested in doing Mr. Freeze, so the fantastical stuff can be toned down a bit. I think you lot are looking at it too literally. It's not suddenly going to lose its groundedness, but they're not. If he wants to bring someone in and he's got an idea to make it grounded, why not? Leroy Kong, congrats to Manchester United. Yes, awesome. I was watching an episode of The Flash, I think it was season 7, and the VFX looked like shit compared to the first seasons. You're right there. But I think the CW is up for sale. I don't think Discovery want anything to do with it. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Dr. Zashizaka, El Rata Alada should be the name of a pizza in the sequel. Oh, that would be good. Abraham Herrera, I stopped watching The Flash after Nora Allen. That shit was cringe. I stopped watching it, I think, after season 4. John, did Smallville ever think about putting Batman or Wonder Woman in the show? DC Comics wouldn't allow them to. That's the simple answer there. I mean, Lois Lane wasn't allowed to be in season 1. Al Miles wanted Lois to grow up with Clark at Smallville High. That's why they added Chloe instead. Basically, Lois Lane with another name. So there was limitations. Sometimes DC said, no, you're not doing that. DC didn't like the idea of Lois going to high school with Clark, even though it did happen for a time in season 4. Now, if I rebooted Smallville, Lois and Lana and Clark would be this love triangle. Very interesting. All going to Smallville High together from year 1. They did mention Wonder Woman before, I think. And in Arrowverse, Oliver Queen once mentioned Bruce Wayne, I think. I think Arrowverse, losing Arrow was a bitter blow. Losing someone like Stephen Amell, you know, very sad. And you see, with football, that's why you don't say someone like Ronaldo's finished. Because like now, he scored one of the best hat tricks in football history. And this is what happens. Hishan Kishi, did you notice the title of the convenience store in the Batman? The title is Good Time, a movie starring Robert Pattinson that Matt Reeves loves. Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't. Wow, that's interesting. Pretty awesome, right? Dr. Zaka, which is your fave Batman theme? Oh, well, you know what? I grew up with the 60s one. I like the opening sequence to that. I love Keaton's theme. That's cool. I think Christian Bale has got an awesome theme. Although Ben Affleck's pretty cool. I think they're all great. I know I'm boring, but there's so many good things in DC. It's difficult. Leroy Kong, Batman and Wonder Woman appeared in the season 11 comic. Yes, they were in the comic, Leroy, you're right. Abraham Herrera, Smallville had already set up a shared universe with all the great cameos it had. They should have followed up with that. What? Do you know what? I think one of the disappointments was because Al Miles, the creators of Smallville, took WB to court. And I think that was part of the problem. But Smallville, I think, has done a better job than Arrowverse and the DCEU. Smallville had the perfect Superman Clark Kent. He had the powers. They had the best legs. I think no one's done DC live action in franchise type better than Smallville. And you can watch it. You can watch the 10 years and enjoy it, and it's great. I think Smallville's the best live action DC. I genuinely believe that. And you know why? It was the storytelling. So tight. Characters. You love the characters. Great Oliver Queen, great Lex Luthor, great Lana Lang, great Lois Lane, great Martha, and even better Jonathan. Jonathan Kent was amazing. He felt like my dad. He was amazing. I cried when he died. Smallville is the best. No one's done DC live action in terms of writing and connecting everything together like Smallville did. They even had their own Justice League. They had a really fresh version of Doomsday as well. The Davis Bloom thing was brilliant. Sam Witwer, a very talented actor who voices Star Wars and the Star Wars games. Smallville's had it all, mate. We even had Darkseid. Abraham Harry, yes, Smallville has not been dethroned yet. No, not by the movies, not by the DCEU or Arrowverse. It never will be. Absolute justice. They actually did a JSA fucking feature-length movie. And they introduced the JSA. Great Hawkman. Great Dr. Fate. Good luck, Pierce Brosnan, doing better than him. You know, they did everything. They did everything. They had a little reference to Suicide Squad. We've had a brilliant Amanda Waller. It's there. They've had everything. And they had a better Maxwell Lord in one episode than Wonder Woman 84 did. No one will ever win in an argument if they say, oh, even, look, you think about the MCU, well, Smallville did all of that first on a low television budget. The way the arrows used to go in slow motion. Do you remember Green Arrows? The way he used to shoot them? They did it much more stylistically than Arrowverse ever did, actually. Abraham Herrera, maybe HBO Max can step up to the challenge. Well, HBO Max are doing a very good job. I mean, you've got great shows like, look, HBO's great. So there's lots of good stuff on HBO Max. John, they even had Christopher Reeve in Smallville. But isn't that amazing, John? He didn't have a Stan Lee cameo. He had this whole character, Dr. Virgil Swan. And it was amazing and it was emotional. They got everything right, mostly. They even had a great cyborg on it. Hijo, what's the funniest line from a Batman movie? For me, it's when Eckhart says, you're one nut boy to Jack Nicholson. What say that? And why emphasize on T? The way he did. Ha ha ha. I don't know. I mean, I can't really think right now. One of my funniest bits in Superman the movie is when Otis gives Lex his robe in the pool. Next time, put the robe on after I get out of the pool. Oops! I know, that's why he's funny. He was written as an idiot. Abraham Herrera, I was so in love with Alison Mack, which only validates my obsession with toxic chicks. Ha ha ha. Listen, I loved her for her acting. I thought she was a great actress. She's still a great actress. Chloe didn't do anything wrong. Alison Mack did. So you can still love Chloe. People need to be, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying that people need to split people up. If you believe Michael Jackson was guilty of the things, his songs weren't guilty of the things. You can still enjoy his songs. You've got to split the entertainer from the real person. And people have trouble doing that. So Alison Mack did some bad stuff and she's going to be punished for it. But Chloe Sullivan was a hero, a great character, inspired our Superman Clark Kent for the future. We can still love Chloe. Leroy Kong, I see that you get many hates, as always. Great live. Do I? Couple of hate. Listen, Leroy, this is how life works. Not everyone's going to like you, and it's got to be water off a duck's back. And you can't expect everyone to love you in life, and you've got to be strong enough to understand that. Abraham Herrera, Chloe was awesome. She was. Always will be. And because Alison's such a great actress, she created this entity that we can look up to. We don't actually have to look up to Alison. We can look up to Chloe. Dr. Zashi Saka, Joker and Court of Owls running the show from the background will be interesting. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the thing. Imagine if Alfred's the big bad. In fact, the way Serkis plays him, he reminds me of Sean Pertwee's portrayal of Alfred in Gotham. Very similar. In fact, the Batman reminds me a lot of the Gotham TV show. Right, guys, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, 10 minutes before we go. Abraham Herrera, I would actually like to see her come back. I don't blame her. Colts can be very tricky. The problem is, Abraham, she was one of the people recruiting people for the Colts and saying that the actual Colt was a place for strong, independent young women. This is what they do. He's saying, Kishi, I hope they fix Joker's face in the Batman sequels. His silhouette sort of looked like a pancake in the Batman. Well, you might have to get used to it. Dr. Zashi Zaka, I hope you have a good dinner. Who? I've already eaten. I had pizza for dinner before I came on here. If you're new to the video, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Dr. Zashi Zaka, awesome. Abraham Herrera, lol, think the Batman should be just a trilogy like Nolan's. I disagree, Abraham. I think it can be as many as Matt wants it to be. There should be no rules or structures. John, what is your favourite scene in Zack's Justice League? Oh, I think the Flash bit is brilliant. I think the flashback to Darkseid or Euxus, all that is awesome. There's lots of great stuff, isn't there? There's so much. Leroy Kong again, I really hope that Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods will at the box office. We must support these movies for the sake of DC. Yes, I think people will support them. I think they will be good movies, and we'll see how we get on. And an added bonus if we see Superman, Dr. Zashi Saka. Darkseid is awesome. Yeah, Darkseid, to have Darkseid in that movie is sensational. And I remember when Kevin Smith broke it on his Fat Man on Batman podcast when he was talking to the people who saw the test screenings that Darkseid's in the movie. That just captured my imagination, and I thought I must see this film. And I'm so happy that I have on multiple occasions. Hishan Kishi, as much as I like Snyder's Justice League, we deserve a much better movie, in my opinion. Wow, better than the Snyder Cut, a 4-hour epic movie. Wow. I don't know who's going to give you a better movie than that, my friend. Unless you like 2-hour bright movies with gags and stuff. Maybe that's what you're after. I don't know. But no one's going to give you something on that level. But it's artistic. And that's what you get when you bring Snyder in, which they should have known. Abraham Herrera, Darkseid fighting the JL directed by Zack would be a sight to behold. And I'm just waiting because it will happen. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Visually, he takes CGI and uses it as a paintbrush, but he can create emotional moments. Hisham Kishi, yeah, better the visuals were awesome, but narratively it should have been better. In what way, Hisham? What did you like narratively? What did you want narratively? Eric Toro, he knocked Joe Chill in the funeral scene, remember? Did he? I genuinely can't remember that. I'm getting old. I'm losing my memory. I genuinely, Eric Toro, can't remember that. Could someone clarify that? Why don't I remember that? Dr. Zashi Zaka, Eric Toro, he means in the Batman. Yeah, I know he means in the Batman. I just can't remember that. Obviously, I've gone a blank. Eric Toro, exactly, in the funeral scene. That's like before he meets Bella Real. Oh, right. You mean the copper? The copper who's talking to him? Eric Toro, the guy fades away in the background. Oh, right. Well, Bella Real. Eric Toro, yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't realise that was him. Hisham Kishi, the only story with Superman dying and then coming back was very undercooked. So him coming back in the movie wasn't shocking in any way. Also, Steppenwolf wasn't the great as a villain. Actually, I thought Steppenwolf worked for what he was. He was never meant to be Heath Ledger's Joker or anything, but he worked. I thought he was very effective for what they wanted him to do. And because basically, Darkseid is the one pulling the strings. So, Hishan Kishi, Eric Toro, I thought it was rushed, to be honest. Radin01. Hello, Mike. Hello, Radin01. Splinter Cell, tactical espionage. Not a Henry Cavill, but maybe there's going to be another actor playing Supes. Anything's possible. Dr. Zashi Zaka, and he's also the guy who says he's vengeance in the end at the O2 Arena. Is it? Is that who it was? Eric Torre, that's an even better theory, Hisham. Hisham Kishi, I said hush, not rush. Whatever. Leroy Kong, Steppenwolf is very powerful. I mean, that Steppenwolf in the Justice League one with that fucking helmet, that's a joke, mate. I mean, I think Joss Whedon was trolling us, wasn't he? John, I love the scene when Superman comes back and fights the Justice League. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? And Wonder Woman goes, Kal-El. In other words, Batman, she don't fancy you. She fancies Kal. Get over it. Right, 4 minutes, everyone. My mouth is dry. My lips are dry. I've been here for 90 minutes nearly. Splinter Cell, the tactical and espionage. What have you seen in the 4-hour The Batman movie that we haven't seen in the theatrical final version? Can you give us some examples? I didn't see the 4-hour version. I never did say I saw the 4-hour version. And even if I did see that film, I wouldn't be able to say anything. I'd still be under an NDA. So, because obviously there's elements in that film that you're not supposed to know about. Otherwise, they would have released it to you. Abraham Herrera, you know, since the early 2000s where we've been getting different versions of Batman and Spider-Man, maybe they could bring some B characters to life. Maybe, Abraham. Leroy Kong, great life. Thank you, Leroy. Yeah, no one who goes to a test screening can reveal stuff that hasn't been shown in the film after it's released. There's no way. That's not allowed. Leroy Kong, no, we already read that. Dr. Zashi Zaki, Killer Croc in movie 3 or the sequel because it's about water. Why not? Hishan Kishi, Abraham Herrera, yeah, that's exactly what I said last time. There should be an A side and a B side to each character. Interesting. Right, under a minute. If you want to put one last comment so I can read it out before I go, please do, or forever hold your peace. Splinter Cell tactical. If there's going to be Victor Fries, he will use liquid nitrogen to freeze people. A bit powerful than we used to see, but I'm unsure what Reeves will do with his suit. Well, yeah, that's why Matt gets paid the money to be the genius and creative. He gave a long answer, actually. Dr. Zashi Zaka, see you, Mick. See you later, Dr. Zashi Zaka. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for your time. It's been fantastic. Abraham Herrera, the emails I get from HBO Max always say, dive into the multiverse. think they pretty much embraced the idea. Let's just wait what they do with it. Yes, Abraham, it's going to be interesting. Hisham Kishi, honestly, if the teenage goon in the Batman grows to be Azrael, that would be more interesting than Robin, in my opinion. Could be anything. I think it's Robin, though. Leroy Kong, keep up the good work. Thank you, Leroy. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives, please. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you tomorrow on the DCEU Daily. Then same bat place, same bat channel for the lives. Leroy Kong, keep up the good work. Thank you, Leroy Kong. Take care. See you, Leroy Kong. John, see you, Mick. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much, John Splinter Cell Tactical Espionage. See you later. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Before you leave, smash a like, and I shall see you later. Thank you very much. See you, Mick. Abraham Herrera. See you later, Abraham. Thanks for your support. Thanks for joining the chat. Really enjoyed the chat tonight. We've got a lot of stuff sorted out, lots of theories, lots of chats. Abraham Herrera, I'll bring my girlfriend tomorrow. Awesome. Everyone is welcome. I shall see you tomorrow. Until, I get it, your girlfriend, yeah. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.